DOJ uncovering even more fraud in Minnesota, announcing charges against 15 different people. The DOJ says that scheme ended up costing taxpayers more than $90 million.
Yeah, senior correspondent Mike Tobin's reporting on this out of Chicago for us. And also, we learned more details, Mike, of these two Minnesota autism therapy providers charged in a $46 million Medicaid fraud case. I mean, the details that are emerging here, Mike, are quite shocking.
It really is remarkable, and we've reported some of these details to you in the past. When you talk about the autism services that were provided, that's a program that started out with a budget of $600,000, which jumped to $400 million. The way the scam worked is these centers encourage parents to get diagnoses for their kids that were bogus, then bill the government and U.S. taxpayers for treatment of autism for a kid that didn't need it. Ultimately, now the people who need this autism treatment can't get it because the program has been canceled. The same thing happened with the housing stabilization program. Started out with an estimated budget of $2.5 million. It was exploited to roughly 50 times that, $104 million, to the point that the program was canceled, and the people who need this service now cannot get this service. Now, Colin McDonald, the Assistant Attorney General for Fraud Prevention, had some strong words for the fraudsters who are still at large.
Now, my message to the fraudsters is this: eat, drink, and be merry today, because your days of frolicking and freedom are numbered.
And meantime, on this very same day, the woman convicted as the kingpin at the center of the massive Feeding Our Future scandal is sentenced to 41.5 years in jail. That works out to be a little more than 35 years before she has a shot at parole. Amy Bach is her name. She's also on the hook for $243 million in restitution. And that is the amount of money the court determined was scammed from taxpayers in that Feeding Our Future scandal alone. Amy Bach sobbed in the courtroom before she was sentenced. With shackled hands and feet, she said, quote, "I understand I failed. I failed the public, my family, everyone." Now, in March of 2025, Bach was convicted of mail fraud, wire fraud, bribery, and conspiracy. Prosecutors say she pulled the strings on this pandemic scandal with a program that was intended to feed poor kids during the pandemic. Instead, fraudsters billed Medicaid for meals that were never delivered. Before today, 79 people had been charged with defrauding taxpayers for pandemic money. 65 of them, Bill, have been convicted.
Yeah, Mike, I got to believe that people watch that news conference and were just raging at the screen, learning the details of this fraud and just how deep some of these networks ran. Mike, thank you for the update out of Chicago. All right.